Hello everyone, and welcome back. It's time to head to the tent. Well, I just did a little grocery shopping, filled up with fuel. Next stop is the tent. It's snowing out right now. It's the first time I've seen snow this year, or this season, just some flurries. I could see it looked like it was foggy up ahead, and I thought, what is that? And sure enough, the snow flurries. For part of the way up here, I go on the different way to avoid road construction. I don't know if they're done with the road construction or not, but I didn't see any signs blocking me off, but this way is pretty much just as fast. Well, I decided to come up to the tent today because right now it's 16 days from now is when deer hunting opener is, and we'll be up here. I mean, I'm going to go look around today. I mean, there hasn't been much deer sign, very few deer seen. But Sarah wants to come up. I think Zach's going to come up, and it's just kind of family time. My dad loves it up here. So we'll go out and give it a try and, you know, see if there's anything. But I needed to come up today. I need to get wood put up on the front porch for the whole winter season and everything. And it was just good to get up here, you know? I mean, I couldn't believe it was snowing. That's the first snow I've seen this year. I heard that it was going to possibly snow up here next week, but I did not know that there would be flurries today. Maybe when I'm out driving around, I might see a couple of grouse. You never know. My dad, today is Thursday. I'm going to be here today, tonight, tomorrow. I think tomorrow night also, and then I'll head back home on Saturday morning fairly early. And I want to check a couple of the deer stands, and my dad is going to come up tomorrow. He should be here around noon. And so it'll be nice to see him. I haven't seen him since duck camp, so I brought him up some. We got one of our steers processed, so I brought him up some hamburger and some T-bones, send them home with him for him and my mom, and I also some potatoes from the garden and acorn squash. I grow the acorn squash for them, and I did get some this year, so get that to them. And I don't think there's going to be any ducks up here because it's too late in the season, but I always make sure I have steel shot because you never know. There have been times. My dad was up last week and he said there was ducks out there, but I sure don't see anything today. Mainly I came up here just because I had a couple of free days and it was time to get to the tent. For food, I brought up the regular hamburgers I always bring. I also brought some hamburger that, when we had our steer butchered, we ended up with 237 pounds of ground beef. So I brought up a couple of those just in case, but then I ended up buying the same burgers when I went to Super One, and they had some of their pre-made chicken cold. So I got that for lunch. And then I was going to get pork steaks. 2 pork steaks, $15.72. And then in the reduced bin, they had this a pork shoulder roast for $13.93. So I just bought this. I could do the whole thing. I could cut it into chunks and cook it. I brought some bacon in case I shoot a grouse. I think I just eat that up here depending on what time of the day. And then I brought beer up, but I already had beer here, so we're good. It's warming up pretty fast in here. I've been here for 54 minutes. Oh, I think I'm gonna, it's 4 minutes to 12. I think I'll heat up some chicken and just some kind of a veggie and have some lunch. Maybe I'll have some sliced peaches. The birds are out there. I actually brought up some black oil sunflower seeds. I want to drive now down to my fire stand just to check it out, see if there's any grouse out there. One thing off my list of stuff to do tomorrow. We'll have to walk in there sometime and check Sarah's stand too, but that's pretty close to the tent. Zachary was up here, I don't know, a week ago or something, grouse hunting, and he said that kind of down by where George goes into his stand and then all the way down towards my fire stand, that there was some ribbons on the trees, and I wonder if they're going to come in here and log it. I mean, it's down a ways yet, but I wanted to see if I saw them also. I just saw 2 National Forest Service trucks right there, and there's all kinds of yellow paint on the trees and ribbons. This part here though was logged out. Well, I guess they were back a little bit. This has already been logged here, but they must be going to do something back there. Right here is where I park, and then I walk back that way a little bit and go into my fire stand. Can you guys see on those trees all the yellow paint? They have this thing going here where they try to save the big pine trees, trying to restore it back to how it was back in the day with just these, usually that's white pines, and these are, well, I guess they have the red pines marked. I don't know, but yeah, this paint wasn't here last year or earlier this year. It looks like just on that other side of the road, my stand side. I mean, this is all Superior National Forest here, so it'd be good for the deer. Logging is a good thing for them to have good food. I didn't bring my shotgun, so probably jump a grouse. Well, it won't be hard to, well, it will be if I if I walk into the stand this year. Every tree is marked. Some have X's, some have O's, and some have just straight lines. Paint ends right there, and now there's pink or whatever ribbons around the trees. I can see my stand right there. There's been some exciting times in this stand shooting deer, but it's been a long time now. if they did clear this out, that stand would, and the deer come back, that stand would be in a great place because this would be cleared. They wouldn't completely clear it, but there's a swamp behind me, and that would be the little stretch of woods in between it. That first year I sat back there, I had no idea. I had come in, there's another like trail or road or whatever, I don't know, it's got to be back there, quarter mile. And I had cut in and went all the way back, and this great deer trail was back there. So I went back, got Sarah and Zachary, and we cut a trail going off of this road, but way back at an angle, coming all the way to where the stand is. So then I just put up one of them pop-up stands, you know, like the little dome ones, because deer hunting was the next morning. And so I go out there next morning, opening morning, like 7:05 in the morning, I shoot a buck. Anyway, through the whole thing of all this, it was the longest clearing of brush so you'd be able to walk in and stuff. And here, I mean, it's such a short run here. It's not more than, I don't know, 300 yards from here, maybe a little more than that, from here to the stand, versus it was the longest walk. So luckily, when I was sitting in the stand, you could hear, you don't know how the road curves and everything. I could hear when another vehicle went by, and it was like, it sounded like I was right by the road. So then when I did shoot a deer, I could just pull it out this way, and it was short. Thought I was back in the middle of nowhere, you know? And it's like, no, you're not that far off the road. See how far these marks go. Not very far. Oh yeah, there's some more down here, but wonder if this is one of those, I don't know what they call it, selective cutting or something. I forgot to grab a battery for my other camera. So that battery went dead until I get back to the tent. So now you're getting some phone video, some 4K. This is going back to where they logged last year. And Zach said they took the temporary bridge that they had going across that river. So you can't, he crossed it with waders, but you can't drive back there for, you know, if you were to sit back there. I might want to come back here one afternoon and just like go up and sit on top of that hill right there and just overlook the clearing. And there's a lot of moose back here. It'd be fun to get some footage of moose, or who knows what you might see. Nice little parking area for me right here. Got some old moose tracks right there. Oh, this is where last year or the year before, Zach and I think we did walk in there, but I don't think they had quite such a berm. Right, let's see. Right there, and Zach shot a grouse back there. It's trying to see deer tracks or something somewhere. Look at those weird mushrooms or fungi of some sort. Looks like pieces of plastic. They weren't messing around when they blocked this one off. It was right in there. Drove down in here and Zach went up and over and shot the grouse. There was 3 of them, I think, that we saw when we drove in. Lots of moose tracks. Fox Deluxe. You know, winter's coming when the snowbirds are everywhere. I just saw a grouse run into the woods, pull my truck over, shut it off, get my double barrel out, walk in there real slow, like really slow. Keep going in there. It's like, where is it? All of a sudden, there it is. Bring my gun up, shoot. Absolute miss. There's no reason I should have missed that bird. When I going down this road, that's happened to me more than once. There was another time, I actually had my camera with that time, but I walked down one of the trails here and I'm walking back out and I can see my truck and I see a grouse like on the bank, and I brought my gun up and shot and completely missed it. Well, I just drove around the loop and I'm coming back and then I see there's a lady that lives on the other side of the lake. I see her just a couple times a year, so I stopped and talked to her for, I don't know, probably a half hour. I think I'm going to walk in here and see if I can see where my dad's stand is back there. I know that he's not going to walk into this stand But I just wanted to check it out and make sure that the tree is still standing. And I know we'll probably head back to the tent. I was going to stop at my clearing stand, which is in the same clearing, but that way down the road. And I drove right past it, so I'll stop. And this one's a lot farther in. I'll check this one out. And hopefully tomorrow after firewood and everything, we can run down and check this one out. It's amazing how this has grown up over the years. I know you have to go between those two big pine trees. It looks like his roof up there is gone now, and he had a piece of plywood on the side. I wonder if them straps are okay still. Straps still look good. Well, the roof he had on here has came down some. It was always too low anyway, but I never really liked this stand just because it gets so cold and windy. Even though he has it blocked off, I would have faced it that direction, but look at all the trees down there now. That used to just be pretty much like an open little meadow. Luckily he had this marked. I mean, I think I could have found it anyway, but it looks totally different from year to year. But he has stuff tied on the trees, and then he has these reflector things. Well, I haven't run the splitter since this spring, so it fired up. It was a little slow at first, but I pulled the tarp off of this stuff. This is hardwood. That's all softwood I'm doing now. I have that tree in the front of the tent that I'd like to get split up too. This stuff is okay, but it's starting to get kind of punky. I don't think all of it is, but I'm going to check a couple more of those. The pile back there, that's from years ago, and that is just all just rotting in a pile now. This is the one I'm talking about when I get my dad's four-wheeler and trailer tomorrow so I can bring some wood up on the front porch. I'll come over and grab some of this and split it if I have time. That's how cold it is outside, and I come in, it fogs up the camera. I think these are pretty rotted. I don't know that I'll see if there's any good firewood in there for campfire anyway. Only the bark in the middle was rotted, and then when I cut that tree down, that whole middle of the tree was rotted, but I thought it got into the wood. But that's some really good campfire firewood right there. That lake looks really nice. It's so weird. I mean, it gets dark so fast right now. Normally, when we come up here fishing in August, we aren't even going out for the afternoon fishing yet. We'll be doing about 15 or 20 minutes, like prime time. And right now it'll be pretty much dark in 15 to 20 minutes. At least I got that pile all cleaned up. So tomorrow I just have to bring wood and put it up here on the front porch. And then I'll be ready as far as the wood stove goes. I'm just sitting here right now editing this week's farmhouse video for the Northern Seclusion channel. I'm just picking the carrot this last week. 2 weeks ago, like everything froze really hard down at the house, and we had a couple nights like that. And we had stuff that was green, like morning glories were still blooming and were green, and it just killed it off. The corn stalks went from green to brown in like a day. So I'm just getting the carrots out of the ground right now, and the potatoes out of the ground and stuff. So I thought I would edit this right now for a while. Later on I'll cook something on the fire out there. I didn't feel like firing up the the charcoal grill tonight. And then I've been messaging with my dad because he's coming up tomorrow. I took this picture of the tent tonight, and I just got this phone. My other one quit on me. I had a S22. So I had to go in, because I mean I needed my phone. It just went dead. And the cool thing on them, you know, is how the cameras are and everything. Anyway, I took this picture and then it like exposed it for like a second or something before it clicked. And then I sent that to my dad, and he just got back to me and said it looks like a Rockwell painting, he said. I decided to come out here for, it's about, I don't know what time it is, quarter after. Well, it's almost 11 o'clock. Tomorrow's going to be another busy day, so it's time for bed.
Today, widespread dense freezing fog with patchy fog this morning. Mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 40s. South winds around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Not as cool as lows in the lower 30s. Southeast winds around 5 miles per hour. Saturday, mostly sunny. Highs in the lower 50s. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour with gusts up to 20 miles per hour.
Well, I finished my video, which will go up on Saturday. Now I just have to check and see if I put it on this side and then you go through the whole video. If any of these come up as blue, it means that I didn't edit that clip. Except for this here, which is a picture. Because you can see there's no sound below it. That looks good. So now I'll have to just render this and then watch it and then export it and upload it. But right now I want to go over, it is 8:26. I want to run over and start my dad's stove in his cabin because he's supposed to be coming up here. He said he had to bring his truck in at 7 to get something fixed, and he figured that he'd be up here by about noon. I haven't heard from him today yet, but I'm going to go start his stove anyway because it took a while to get the tent warmed up. The birds are flying around out there. I brought up black oil sunflower seeds and I went out there and put them in my hand, but they really didn't know what to do. One of them came and took it, but the other one won't land on my hand. The other one, it doesn't care at all. It lands on there and eats them. And so then I just put some on top of right where it's sitting. And they ate them, but they were now he's feeding me healthy food. Bring me bread. They love that bread. Oh, I hear geese. Hello? Hey, I didn't bring my earpiece. I'm over at my dad starting his stove up.
And I kept thinking too, I was like, man, maybe that's the asteroid, and Brandon said the same thing.
Oh, really?
He said it was super loud.
I wonder what they were flying around looking for.
I don't know. You?
I have
looking for you.
Yeah, that's it. That's why I come up to the tent to avoid law enforcement. Yeah, that's what it was.
I knew it. You're a thug.
Well, I got the stove started. It was only 36 degrees in here. It's only 38 degrees in here now, but his stove is really kind of finicky, where you gotta have that damper before it starts smoking in a little bit. Takes a while to warm up, but once it gets going, it works really good. Plus, this place is super insulated, so once it gets warm, it doesn't take much to keep it warm. He hasn't even messaged me this morning at all to say if he's on his way or not. I have no idea. It's putting out the heat now. I don't think I dare shut that damper down anymore. Keep that draft turned back. I have the ceiling fans on medium to push the heat down. I'll run back to the tent and I'll come back over here in half hour, 45 minutes or whatever and check on it. I think I'm going to run, just go out for a little bit here and see if there's any grouse. I mean, it was kind of wet and snow and sun and snow and sun and wet yesterday, and now the sun's out. They might be sunning themselves. There's one right there. Well, I got it. They sure aren't sitting there. I thought for sure I'd be able to scrape it, and I went walking up and that thing took off flying, but it happened to fly not directly into the trees, so I got it. But first grouse of the season. I want to walk in and just make sure Zachary's stand is still up. I'm sure he's already checked it because he was up here. More yellow paint. Looks like they're going to be doing something in here too. I can see his stand from here. I can see that the straps are on it good. I don't know if you can see it, but it's up. No trees fell on it. If there was deer around, they'd have to be right on top of you here before you'd see them. So amazing. Used to be able to see way, I mean everywhere, just forever it seemed like. You'd see deer way over there, and then you wouldn't know if they were going to go up where my dad now has a stand, that one that we went to yesterday, or if they would eventually come down in here and follow along this edge. You wouldn't see them at all now. It's a little different sitting here with the sun beating on you. Remember some of those mornings, what was it, 14 below zero and windy and just nasty out. It was at 36, now it's at 58. I always come around here slow, wondering if any ducks or geese are in there. That's my finger. You're making a big mess. There you go.
Last night? Easy. I killed a man and they sent me to prison. 7 years.
My dad made it up here. He didn't walk over, he called me because I had the stove going. I didn't tell him I was going to start it, so he said all I could think about was how we had to get in there and get that stove going because it was going to be cold and it was already nice and toasty. So I talked to him for about a half hour on the phone. I think I'm going to get a load of pine and a partial load anyway and fill up this part over here. I like to use that on the campfires and stuff. So, and in the wintertime, you know, if you stack it out by the fire, everything gets covered in so much snow that you can't even get to it. So I like to have more than what there is out there right now. That's all I'm going to need the four-wheeler for today, so I'm going to bring that back to my dad's. And then I brought up acorn squash from the garden, red potatoes, white potatoes, and then I got him some hamburger and some steaks also. So I grabbed him 10 pounds of ground beef, a 2-pack of T-bones, and a 2-pack of porterhouse steaks. That's all off the steer that we just had processed. Yeah, let's see, I'll just load that in the four-wheeler. I just got back from being over at Dad's, brought the four-wheeler back and helped him take the gutters down for the winter, and that's really nice. It's 45 degrees out there and the sun's out, so we just sat in the front yard, or stood in the front yard and talked. I brought like I showed you, the potatoes and the squash and the steaks and the hamburger over. And now Melissa will call me. What time is it now? 4:32. 3:32. So she'll call me on her short ride home from work, which will probably be around 5. I'm going to run out and check Sarah's stand because I'm really wanting to make sure that there's no tree that fell on it or anything. That's like one of the last things that I wanted to do up here. I think I'm doing really good as far as getting everything done that I wanted to get done. up here and turn around and then go back to where her stand is, so I'm facing the right direction. You can't just turn this truck around very easy. I finally got turned around. They even have trees marked here. So you see over there the one tree that a storm is blown at an angle to the right there. If you can see it, that's where I gotta go. A bunch of trees marked right there too. There's our stand. Boy, it's thick in here now. Yeah, none of these trees in here are marked. That's strange. I guess I should walk over there and walk to the right and see how far back they have them marked. I really need to see the map of what they're going to do up here. This is such a nice stand to sit in. It's not far from the tent. Several deer have been shot out of it when there were deer around. It's usually kind of protected from the weather compared to sitting in one of them big open clearings. Well, I sent a picture of it to Sarah. I don't even know if she's planning on sitting out at all or just coming up to spend time at the tent. But if she wants a blanket for the front of it, she better pick one up. Might as well walk over here and try to see what they're doing. Where to go. I wonder what the black paint means. That's the tree that used to have the scrape underneath it every year. You can see where they had an old rub on there. That tree was just little. And now we have the pink ribbon here, so all the color stopped. What a nice day. All I've been doing for the last hour is trying to watch that video that I edited, and every so often this computer will like it won't play, like it doesn't have enough computing power to do it, and the fan runs. Very seldom does it do it, but it's doing it tonight, so I'm trying to render through it. And then yesterday, remember when I went out and my camera battery went dead, so I had I said 4K video or whatever, and I used my phone. Well, I couldn't figure out how to transfer it to my computer. I mean, I always did it with my S22 just by hooking up a cable. And now I finally looked online and saw how to do it, and I got those transferred. So I've got this is going to be a pretty long video, the one that we're making right now at the tent. And I'm trying to do that at the same time. I'm trying to render this again, and then it locks up. It's almost time for me to get a new computer. This one it's got to be 4 or 5 years old now. And it still has Windows 10. And as of this month, Microsoft is no longer going to do updates and stuff like that on Windows 10. But I didn't want to switch it over to Windows 11 because my editing software, it works with Windows 11, their new version, and they never tested this version, which is 2019. Now the new one is 2025. on Windows 11 and they weren't going to do it. So basically you're forced to buy, new software. So anyway, I don't think I'm going to do a laptop next time because this was very expensive. And now you can get those little boxes and they're not nearly as expensive because it's more like a standalone PC. And I already have I'm going to get a bigger monitor. I think I bought a 24-inch monitor. And I'm just going to do it that way. But for right now, this one still works just fine. I mean, the screen is cracked and everything, but it still works. But for some reason tonight, it's not cooperating very well. It's getting better right now. It's starting to move again, but maybe I just had too many things going. But usually this computer just smokes through anything. This laptop has always been really good that way. It's finally moving. For a long time. It just stayed at 1. I don't have to cook tonight because I still have leftovers. I have the chicken and some of that pork from last night, just like I had for lunch. 3 dishes here. I might make one more tonight. We'll see when I eat. I brought my battery pack in from the one cellular camera that's in the front of the tent because it doesn't keep up right now. The sun, in the wintertime, that solar panel is set perfect. Actually, for about 9, almost 10 months of the year, it works perfect. But right now, the angle of the sun, maybe there's a tree right there or something, doesn't allow it to hit that solar panel. And I can move it so it would, but if I just wait a little bit longer, it'll be fine. So, because I put this in during deer hunting last year, so I'm charging it like this and I'll pop it in and it'll be good for a while. I really don't have that much stuff to get ready. I mean, my camera bag, this bag, vacuum, wash stuff up and get the food out of here. There really isn't that much to do. Make the bed in the morning. I finally got through that whole entire video and now it's doing the export right now, so I'll be able to upload it when I get home. That took forever with that computer lagging like that.
I was thinking only of the vagueness of my information.
10:35 at night. It's time for bed. I'm bringing home some of the fishing poles because there's been a few times we wanted to go fishing on the river. We know somebody that fishes there, and they catch all kinds of stuff, northerns, walleye, catfish, bass. But all the fishing stuff is up here, and you have to use a canoe on there anyway. He said that's what he does, and that's works best. But everything's up here, so I told Melissa I would bring some home this time. I don't know if we'll get out there this year at all because it's already getting so cold, and deer hunting is coming up and everything. But we maybe we will if we get a warm stretch in here. It's only maybe 10-15 minutes from the house. Okay everyone, well thanks a lot for watching. Got a lot of stuff done in 2 days. Everything's ready for this fall's deer camp. This is amazing. Now that they redid this road, this is the first time I've driven on it. I mean, you could sometimes only go 20 or 30 miles an hour. It was so bumpy, at least with this truck. And now it's just nice and smooth. This is so nice. I will see you guys on the next video.